We will begin this meditation with 3 deep breaths. Slowly allow your breathing to return to normal. And as you sit or lay and listen to your breath, begin to feel a warmth starting at the crown of your head. Feel this warm light make its way down over the crown of your head, over your forehead, relaxing the muscles of your brow line, down to your temples and your jaw, relaxing the muscles of the face. And as your face relaxes, feel this warm light make its way over the back of your neck, down your shoulders, easing away any of the tension or stress that you've held there. And as your shoulders relax, feel this warmth make its way down your arms, slowly pooling in the palms of your hand. And as your arms and hands relax into this warmth, feel that relaxing light make its way down your back, your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back. Let it sit in the lower back, washing away any achiness or soreness that you may be storing there. And then feel it making its way down your legs, easing away any tension in the knees, sliding down your calves and your shins, and finally pooling in your feet. And as you sit, completely relaxed within this warm light, you begin to feel a path beneath your feet. And as you take in the sensations of this path, you begin to notice that you are standing in the middle of a beautiful forest. The path is well worn ahead of you, but you seem to be alone with the creatures that live here. This loneliness makes you feel at ease as you are comfortable in this solitude. Gold sunlight drifts through the leaves, creating intricate patterns on the floor ahead of you. Its shining radiance beckoning you forward. And so you slowly begin to walk down the path, stopping to smell any flowers that entice you, as there are many beautiful shades lining the walkway. You feel at peace here, like you have all the time in the world to meander slowly throughout. And although you stay on the path, you see so much of the forest pass before your eyes. And you take in the different shades of greens from the trees and the bushes, and the lavenders and pinks and reds of the various flowers. You let the meditative hum of the bugs and the birds play a soundtrack to your walk. And as you are taking in that glorious hum of nature, you begin to hear a different sound added to the symphony. As you begin to isolate the noise, you realize it is the sound of a river or a stream in the distance. You can tell the sound is coming from farther along the path, so you continue walking forward. And as you walk forward, the forest begins to thin around you. And soon enough, it has opened up into a beautiful field. And as the field comes into view, the sound of the river gets louder, and you know you are headed in the right direction. The path continues through the field, and so you stay on it. And all of a sudden, beyond the hill, beyond the fields, you see a small town in the distance. You see the smoke curling up from chimneys. You hear the peacefulness of daily goings about. And you notice that in between you and the village lies a mill, turning slowly. And attached to that mill is a wheel, a water wheel. And you realize that this mill is powered by the river you've been following. Knowing that this is where that babbling and gurgling has been coming from, you approach the mill and you sit on the bank of the river, directly across from the wheel. You have never seen such a thing before. Turning slowly, creating so much power with something as simple as a stream. And as you sit on the lush green grass. You take in the workings of the wheel, seeing the ways the bottom edge dips into the water, picks it up, carries it around to its peak, only to drop it back down again. Around and around, slowly this wheel turns. Such a simple action on a piece of technology we take so much for granted. And yet, the most important things are created here. Grain and bread, sustenance, that which sustains us. Here, all of that is indebted to the simple turning of the wheel. And as you watch the wheel turn, dipping into the water, rising up, and falling back down into the depths again, other turnings and other cycles begin to impose themselves upon this wooden wheel. On its spires, you see the seasons coming and going and coming again, bringing rest, bringing sustenance. And as the visions of the seasons pass, as the seasons do, you see the cycles of the moon, another type of wheel. The dark moon dipping below the depths. The crescents working their way up to the full moon at the peak, and slowly waning back down to the depths again. And as you see these many wheels turning and changing and turning again, you begin to see and realize all life as a wheel, your life as a wheel. Moments in which you dip beneath the depths, only to rise up again to your peak, and to wane back down to the depths again. And although we are so often told that a successful life follows a linear path, nature tells us otherwise. We, like all creatures on this earth, move within the wheel of the seasons, the wheel of the moon, the wheels of life, the wheel that, like this mill's wheel, provides nutrients, stability, and energy. And as the babbling of this stream carries you through these meditations, you feel something smooth and cool brush up against your hand. And you look down to find a beautiful, ornate pitcher. Beautiful scenes of the moon in all its phases. Outline, detailed illustrations of the forest you passed through, moving through the seasons. And as you take in the beautiful artwork of this magical picture, you know in your heart that it is not meant just for water. In fact, something about this picture urges you to speak to it, into it. And so you position your head directly above the pitcher's opening and begin to tell it all of your worries, all of your frustrations, all the things in your life that make you believe that you are at a standstill, all the things that you believe are holding you back. And as you speak, your words turn to water and slowly fill the pitcher. Entranced by this transformation, you continue to speak, allowing all of these stressors to come pouring out of you, turning to water in front of your eyes. And no matter how much you say, the pitcher never becomes full, always having room for you to speak more. And if you do not have the words for these feelings, simply let yourself feel them and see those feelings rise up out of you, turning to water in the pitcher. When you are done and your body feels a little bit lighter, you pick up the pitcher, now so full of all of these worries, and you pour it into the stream in front of you. And as you pour this water, these thoughts, these feelings into the stream, you see visual representations of all that you have shared pop up on the surface as if they were being reflected onto the water. And as soon as these visuals appear, the wheel dips in, destructing the image and carrying that small puddle of water up through the air to its peak and down again. And you notice that when the water touches back down after its trip upon the wheel, a new image appears. It is an image of a solution to the problem you have placed in the river. An image of a transformation. One that shows the ways in which these current frustrations may turn into blessings in the future. And again, as the wheel scoops up one of these frustrations or stressors, carries it to the top, and drops it down again, you see ways in which you have grown from these experiences. Again and again, the wheel disrupts these negative thoughts and feelings, carries them up and over and down again, and see how in that traveling they have changed. And now when you look into the river, instead of seeing your frustrations or worries reflected back at you, you see all the possibilities of a future in which these problems have helped you learn, helped you grow, and changed you for the better. That is because the wheel teaches us that everything is temporary. Everything a part of the wheel, dipping into the depths so that we may be brought to the peak, and coming down from the peak to be dipped into the depths again. When you look at the way the wheel works to power the mill, you see it is in the depths of the water that the power is really generated, that you gain the momentum to swing upwards to the peak, making it necessary to come back down again so that you can swing back up. And so you peer into the river, taking in the glistening images of all possibilities for the future. And you realize that if you feel like you are in the depths, it is because you are gaining momentum to move forward. That you are not standing still. You are simply on one part of the wheel, destined to continue moving up and back down again, growing and changing as the seasons do, as the moon does, as the wheel does to power the mill. And soon all the images of these possible futures fade away, leaving only the crystal blue of the stream. And you look back down next to you to see the picture, and you extend gratitude to it for its openness and willingness to hold your worries. And in this gratitude, you know that it will always be here for you if you need it. And knowing that, you stand up and find the path again, feeling its smoothness under your feet, feeling all the people who have walked this path before you, smiling at their energies as they dance with yours. And the path takes you back through the field, away from the village. And soon the trees begin to get denser around you as you find yourself again in this ancient, beautiful forest. And the humming of the bugs and the birds and the rustling of the leaves begins to drown out the sounds of the distant stream. And as you get lost in the meditative sounds of the nature, you begin to wiggle your toes, feeling your feet on the floor or your back on a bed, bringing your awareness back to your body now, wiggling your fingers, moving your head from side to side, and slowly, when you are ready, opening your eyes.